And Detective, your name for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Detective Joseph Carr, Wyandotte Police.
All right. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. And Detective, you may proceed on the warrant.
Your Honor, on July 29th, about 1:15 in the morning, officers observed a vehicle traveling in the area of First and Elm without any exterior headlights or lights on. Officers soon conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the driver, later identified as the defendant, Chelsea Ann Charnock. Officers reported that they observed an open container of alcohol in plain view on the passenger side floorboard. Officers then observed a glass crack pipe with Troy Boy also in open view. The defendant was asked to exit the car, at which time she complied, and she was detained in the rear of a marked patrol vehicle. Officers further reported that a total of 10 miscellaneous pills in a clear, unmarked plastic container were discovered inside the defendant's purse. Officers also noticed that several other drug paraphernalia items were discovered inside the defendant's vehicle. Officers confirmed the pills to be acetaminophen, hydrocodone, 6 pills of that, and 4 pills of a dexmethylphenidate, Schedule 2 drugs per drugs.com. The defendant was then advised she was under arrest for possession of dangerous drugs, conveyed to the station where she's booked and held. A MAPS report was later completed, indicated that the defendant did not have any RX prescriptions for the recovered pills.
I thank you. Upon examination of any witness, the offenses charged or committed, there's probable cause to believe the defendant committed those offenses. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Arco on behalf of Ms. Charnock, who is appearing by Zoom from the Wyandotte Jail, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Actually, for clarification, she's in the Wyandotte Jail, and your P number, counsel?
69571, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Charnock, your name, please, for the record. Your name for the record?
Chelsea Charnock.
All right, thank you. Now it didn't all come through. Counsel, add to the arraignment.
Client will stand mute. Will waive additional reading of the charges, Your Honor. And we'd like to talk about bond, please.
The court will waive the formal reading. Ma'am, you do have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. In fact, you've exercised your right to have an attorney and you've retained counsel, correct?
Yes.
You also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights, ma'am? Ma'am, do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Okay. And the court's going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Schedule this matter for probable cause conference on August 10th at 9:50 a.m.
Excellent.
I'm sorry? Okay. All right. And so counsel asked to bond.
Your Honor is retained by Ms. Charnock's family, her mother. They've asked that I pursue a PR bond. She works. Her mother is very involved in her life, and we ask the court to grant that.
All right, detective as to bond.
Your Honor, I will be requesting a $500 cash bond. The defendant does not have much of a CCH, so just a $500 cash bond to reassure her appearance back in court.
Okay, ma'am, where do you work?
Silver Cricket in Hayward Heights.
And how long have you worked there?
About a year.
And what do you do there?
I'm a stranger.
And have you ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
Yeah, I had a warrant for not going to court in 2021. I crashed into a car.
All right, is that warrant still outstanding or did you take care of it?
It's still outstanding, but we're working on some things. And I just
You're
started
doing what?
I
Your
believe
Honor, I've
it's
been retained.
I'm making payments on it, and I've gone to court for it since then.
Okay, I'm sorry, what's that, Mr. Kohler?
I've been retained to handle her. There's an additional case. I think you're talking about Woodhaven. So her family has paid a not insignificant retainer for me to represent Ms. Charnock. I assure you
And
she'll
what
be
are
showing
those?
up to court.
Okay, and what are those charges?
I think it's just it's a warrant possibly for a traffic ticket, Your Honor. I don't have the
Right,
details.
what's happening with the matter from Dearborn from May of 2023? Where it's assault and a dangerous drug, both misdemeanors. What's happening with that?
I have no awareness of that, Your Honor. I have to consult with my
Ma'am, what's
client and her
going on?
family.
Ma'am, what's going on with that case?
When that case was dropped, they tried to refer the traffic warrants what that was picked up on. Because this is what was they were called for. They put me in tether, they didn't put me home for a month, and since then charges were dropped, got my bond back and everything.
Ma'am, if you were tested today, what's in your system?
No.
I'm sorry?
Oh.
Okay, it's not coming through. Well, I can't understand what you're saying.
No.
No what?
There was nothing in my system? Was that the question that was asked?
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's what would be detected in your system, so nothing, all right. Given the fact that there's a history of defendant not appearing, she doesn't live too far, but she's not exactly local. The court's going to indicate $5,000, 10% fine. You're not to possess and consume the alcohol or drugs unless prescribed, and we'll see you back on August 10th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, and we are still on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus David Brzezinskis, 231794.
Your Honor, good morning. Richard Keese, Ronald T. 33828, appearing on behalf and with my client, who's presently in Wayne County Jail. Please state your name, sir.
David William Brzezinskis.
All right, thank you. Today's meeting is scheduled for the pretrial in this matter. And counsel, do you have an opportunity to review the report, discuss the pretrial matter with the prosecuting attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what's happening today?
Your Honor, after pre-trying the matter, my client is going to tender a plea of guilty as charged. He has gone over the rights that he understands, and he is ready for the court's examination.
All right, Mr. Brzezinskis, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. And sir, as to the charge of public intoxication, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you have gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes.
And you understand those rights?
Yes.
You also understand by entering into a plea, you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your trial and appellate rights.
Pardon me, I didn't hear that.
You understand that by entering into a plea, you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your trial and
Yes.
appellate rights.
Yes.
And you understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea. You understand
Yes.
you understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea today?
Yes.
And knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea?
Yes.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No.
All right, and counsel, if you can please pardon your client.
Sir, we're approximately on July 19th, 2023. Your Honor, was that the date? I misplaced my paper here.
July 20th.
July 20th, were you in Brooklyn Bar in the city of Wyandotte?
Yes.
At that time, did you consume alcoholic beverages?
Yes.
And were you intoxicated when you left?
Yes.
And then you had contact with the police, is that correct?
Yes.
And after some discussion, they determined that you were intoxicated in a public place. Is that correct?
Yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the count of public intoxication. We will schedule this matter for sentencing on August 30th.
Your Honor, may I just issue a bond?
At 9 a.m. Yes, the bond is $2,500, 10% alcohol, tethered through Wayne County Jail, no return to Brooklyn, not to possess or consume alcohol or drugs unless prescribed.
That's correct, Your Honor. My client tells me he's been in custody continuously for 2 weeks. His mother is present in the courtroom. Would you raise your hand, ma'am?
Okay,
And she wanted to know what was going on. She's quite concerned about her son not being allowed to leave the jail. Your Honor, he tells me he has nothing pending. He's not on probation or parole anywhere else. If the court is satisfied with the tether, he can be released on the payment of the bond, if his mother's being posted or not.
well, the bond's been posted,
Oh,
and so I would presume he's waiting for the alcohol tether. Maybe he has a hold on from somewhere else, I don't know. But it shows the bond was posted on July 26th, and so he's just waiting for the tether. So maybe I can inquire from the deputy as to what that status is.
all right.
Deputy, good morning. Can you spell your name for the record, please? Mr. Brzezinski, is there a deputy right next to you?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. Can you spell your name for the record, please?
Deputy Provenche, Victor, Onche.
Okay, thank you. Do you happen to know the status of Mr. Brzezinski? He's waiting for a tether. He's already posted the bond. Do you happen to know anything about that?
It takes 3 to 5 business days to go on tether. He's just on the list.
He's 6th on the list?
He's on the list. I don't have access to that list, but he is scheduled to go on tether, but the day I do not know.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's where we're at, counsel. And I'm not releasing your client without a tether.
Well, Your
No,
Honor,
given his criminal history, given the level of intoxication and the fact that your client seems to have a significant issue with alcohol, I'm not releasing him without a tether, without an alcohol tether.
Your Honor, does the court know why, if he's been in custody 2 weeks, he's not been provided a tether?
No, counsel, I just inquired as to, with the deputy who's down at the Wayne County Jail, what that status is, and he didn't have that list. He says your client's on the list, and that's all I can do. I mean,
Okay,
that's all.
all right, Your Honor, thank
All
you.
right, bonding conditions are continued, and, deputy, do you want me to have probation call in to speak to your client for a PSI?
Yes, ma'am, and they can do that as soon as possible because we have other PSI starting at 11:15.
Yes, perfect. We'll have them do that right now.
Okay. Watch your legs.
Thank you.
Paul, you're on the chair.